So thanks for tuning in. Again, we're reviewing how to play Arma Reforger, or the way that I like to play and the guys that I play with, just to be as strategic and tactical as possible. So in this episode, we're going to now start looking at how to take caps, how to most effectively take caps, most efficiently take caps, and push your team's front line into contact with the opposing force. So this is kind of how I do this. And again, we talked in the very first episode about moving forward, not back when you start. Very important. The only back for us right now is Georgia, which is a major cap point, and we need to take it. We will eventually take it. But what I need to do at the start of the game is move forward into contact. And that's going to prevent the Soviets from moving further into my territory. If I went back first, that means if it's like a chess game, I put a pawn backwards, which you can't, obviously. I mean, that's not going to happen, but if we thought about it like a chessboard, if we were able to move pawns backwards, if I move my pawn backwards instead of forwards, that allows the Soviets in that same time frame to move forward one cap point. You think about it that way. We want to constantly be moving forward until we come into contact. Then we can start moving backwards. So I have geared up in the previous episode. If you want to look at how to save loadouts, how to create a loadout, what kind of loadouts we run with and why, previous episode. In this episode, we're going to take a cap point and build it. I'm familiar with the map, so I know I'm already coming up on my next objective, which is Villeneuve, and I know that there's going to be AI off to the right here, which I have to be careful of. And there's going to be AI. There's a checkpoint right in front of me at like 12:31 o'clock, and you see a soldier there. That's a defensive position on the outskirts of our objective up here. So I will push up almost into hard contact, or shooting. Not quite shooting or being shot at, but very close to it. I'm going to shut. Oh, now I am in contact. All right, here we go. So I shut the truck off, put the parking brake on, and I'm looking for that contact. So really quickly I have to deploy a radio, so if I get shot I can respawn. The AI in this game are much better than Arma 3. The guys around us will hear that shooting and they'll come to investigate. And these guys, when you shoot at them, they take cover. They will heal other players. I got another friendly player coming in. Okay, there's contact. Another one behind him. So that guy's gonna die because he's just pushed right up on. No, maybe not. He's pushed up onto a defensive position, come right into contact. Holy cow! All right, 2 down. Gotta watch my right side because there may be more guys there. Don't see any right away. I don't like the lights on, but having them behind me is better than in front of me. He's down. Okay, now there's going to be guys right in this field, and this is our main objective, and they're pushing towards us. So I've got to be careful. I'm going to switch to my DMR so I can engage them more effectively at range. Here they come. I'm going to go down on a knee. Now I shot him once, he may be only wounded. Switching back up because I want fully automatic. How's my ammo? Is good. Okay, we're clear here. There's got to be more guys around. There's usually 5 around that tent, and another 3 at this defensive position that we just cleared. Oh, they're there. So I'm in the dark right now. That's 2. That's a total of, what do we do? 2, 5, 6. That may be it. We're going to push in towards the cap. No, there's another one. Is that friendly? Can't tell. Situational awareness is key. We look around, make sure there's nothing sneaking up on us. We're good. Could be someone coming up behind us. And this guy is not friendly. So now that one guy that I wounded... Oh! You heard that guy say hold your ground. That's a enemy AI. Coming up behind me. Where is he? I hear him. Clear. Clear. Now those lights are going to be in my face. Oh! Great. I'm unconscious, but... and what they do is if they shoot you unconscious, they will come down and loiter over you until you regain consciousness, and then they'll kill you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to respawn right now. They may be too close to my radio to allow me. If they're too close to the radio, it'll say enemies nearby. It won't let you redeploy there. So this guy, while I've been engaging stuff, is just sat out here under cover doing sweet nothing. So that's another thing. If you're going to take a cat point, you push in and take it. Sitting out on the outskirts, you need to be within a certain radius or certain diameter of the cap point in order to actually cap it. And sitting back like he's doing does nothing to advance our strategic position. He's down. They're down. This guy's still alive doing nothing. Okay, so we are going to now... So she's just hiding in a building while I'm shooting AI. Like, don't do that. If you're playing... If you want to help your team... Oh boy. So that guy had a radio on his back. He spawned after we started assaulting. And there's another guy with him somewhere. There's usually 2. So you look at the player or the AI. It says check injuries. He's unconscious. So this is the second AI that was with that radio guy. Where is he? There's another one outside. Again, I'm not the best player at this, but me and the group do alright. I hear somebody. If he would stop moving that truck, we'd probably find him. Now you can use guys like this guy that's with me as bait. Okay, I'm fairly confident at this point that we have killed everybody. We're going to move in, cap, which this guy is not doing. It's with me. Which is how we cap this point. And you'll see supplies over here on the left. So this is our command tent and supplies on the left. We don't have many. We need 275 to build a radio. We have 150. I have 500 in that truck. So I typically will not hide in the open as I'm capping a point, just in case Soviets come along. Or other AI. So we cap this point. Actually, I'm going to, right now, to save time, we're trying to be as efficient as possible. I'm going to get to the outskirts of the cap point, so I am as close to my truck and radio as possible. We've taken it. I'm going to grab my truck full of supplies and build a tower, and we're going to move on. Now, you got to be careful. After you've taken the cap, there can be AI that spawn around. Situational awareness, as in real life, is still critical. Don't let your guard down. There can be Soviets. If you're playing against players, if you think there's players in the area, players are smart. They'll do all kinds of funny things. They'll wait until you think you're safe and then engage you. All kinds of little traps you can set. So I'm going to leave my radio up in case I get killed before I put down a tower. Technically, from what I've been told, I haven't looked into it. The only thing you need to be able to respawn at a cap point is another, like, actual building. I don't think the ammo supply won't do it, but a barracks or something like that, or having that fuel supply will allow you to spawn here. The radio will also allow you to spawn, and it extends your communication range, which is vital in this game. So we typically, first thing we build is a radio. If we're a long ways away from the Soviets still, the second thing we're going to build is the fuel depot. It just slows down the advance if someone's trying to cap it. I have gotten out of the truck. I've hit either F or tab. Tab works, this is tab. And I've selected my truck, left click on the mouse, drug my supplies over to the crates, and I hit confirm. I do that, I have to do it twice. It's a glitch in the game right now, but you drag it, you drop it, and it says confirm you want to move those many supplies, and you say yes. That transfers maximum storage. If I have 500 in here, there was already some here, now I have 500 in here, and now I have 500 supplies, and I can build a couple of things with it. All I'm going to build is a tower, because we're not anywhere near Soviets yet, but I need that tower to extend how far I can cap things. It's going to move those supplies along the supply chain slowly, but much like we're doing with trucks, this will slowly move supplies as well. This allows me now to reach 2 cap points in advance of where we are. But I typically will go point to point, set up comms relays, and build a stronger communications web. So that's done. I'm going to take all remaining supplies back onto my truck because I need them as I advance. I'm only going to use what I need to create what I need. And the more supplies we have moving forward, the further we can go before we run out. So now that we have a comms relay here, this is slowly going to build up. See, it just built some supplies. It transferred supplies from our main operating base to here. That guy's probably sitting there wanting to build stuff, like a complete whatever. Not needed at all. We don't need it until, if the Soviets start pushing us back, then we can start creating defensive things. But if we wait too long to go forward, then they will have advanced what we did not advance, and we'll be on our hind foot. So I've created a comms link. Now I'm pushing up. I'm going to take Vermont. Now, if you want to get more rank points, you're going to plan as you go. You go into the map, you select the shield, you accept this mission, which is to take Tiller's Find, and it's going to give us a few more points. So me transferring these supplies gives me points as I offload them places, and me communicating with the team what point I'm taking next will give me more points when I take that point. Did I grab the radio? No, I didn't. I left the radio back there. So don't forget to grab your radio after you take a cap point, which I do. Usually the guys in the squad are reminding me, did you grab the radio before we leave? There's a checkpoint partway up. You can see the guys there. I just want to avoid that. I don't need to waste time engaging them right now. They are not critical to my mission. Moving forward, building comms relays, taking cap points is critical at this junction. That guy's in part of the objective I'm taking, so he will be fair game. Typically I'd set a radio up now, so I can respawn here if I get killed, but I forgot it at the last cap point. We are in contact, and they will be advancing towards my last known position. So two things you don't want to, two things you don't want to do: stay still, or advance straight at something if you're in contact. Typically, it's a heavy MG. I'll typically flank in concealment. Again, we want good situational awareness, and advance in concealment or cover. Okay, that was the last guy. Now we got to go around and make sure everything's dead. So he's dead. I can tell by it says search and not check injuries. I'll know one of them was unconscious and has woken up if my capturing this base thing stops. That guy might be injured. Looks like everybody else is dead. Yeah. Remember I talked about that checkpoint? I don't need to take that right now. Guess where that guy is? checkpoint. Meanwhile, I've taken a cap point. The Soviets have most likely taken a cap point or two. And he is still at this checkpoint, which all we needed to do was go around it. It's going to take him 5 minutes, potentially, depending on how good of a player he is, which serves zero strategic purpose, other than it prevents them from harassing us as we go by. That is it. That is all he has done, is prevented a little bit of harassment, potentially a player death as we drive around that. You can just avoid them if you know where they are on the map. And another thing that they do, if I had left that, if he hadn't engaged that, and the Soviets came down that hill, though the gunfire would alert me to the proximity of Soviets in my area. I can look on map. If I don't see a team lead on map, which is the only people that show, I can make a educated guess that it's Soviets passing that checkpoint. So when he takes that out, I no longer have that proximity alert, if you want to think of it that way. So that's another thing to think about. And he risks being killed by that AI as well. Alright, so I'm going to get out. I'm going to transfer supplies. I'm going to create a radio. So I need 275 total. It doesn't matter. Transfer those supplies. Build my radio. And I'm going to move on. I don't need to build anything else here yet. I don't think. That gunfire I hear may be Soviets at a spot called Montanak, which is a very strategic spot. This is kind of central, pivotal to, if you hold this, it kind of allows you access to the radio tower here, which gives you comms access to a large diameter spot there. Yep, the Soviets are in Montanak, 100%. Technically, I should be building the barracks here. This is another, actually, believe it or not, fairly strategic point, because it's a jump-off point here at Vermont to get to this major cap point. Holding this is kind of your spawn point if you want to attack this, and then this is kind of a defensive position for that. So those are two critical spots in this game. So build unavailable. Sometimes this happens on PC, you just got to change your tool. I hit like 9090 until it allows me to build. Just a couple of glitches that they're still working on because this game's, I believe, still in beta. Okay. Taking caps, advancing. Base defended. They might actually be close to us here now. Or in the area. So I am going to now, I've got that built. I got to grab my radio, so I got to go back to the last. Also, having that guy engaging that checkpoint, he's letting the Soviets know that we're close. While we're waiting for supplies, I don't want to spawn on my radio because there's only 10 respawns per radio, and then you have to get a new radio. So strategically, so we're going to assume the Soviets were south when they started. So we're going to push east. Ideally, we're going to take Montanak, we're going to take Entradu, we're going to take Chotain, the town of Chotain, and then we're going to start headed towards Colorado. The other option would have been, and again, we don't know if they spawn south or if they spawn up in this area or over in this area. The other thing we could have done is gone south and west. You can go north and west. You want to try and figure out where they are and push towards them, set up a strategic line of defense, and then take stuff behind you. It's one strategy, and it seems to work quite well. So we've got enough supplies there now. I can spawn. This guy's building stuff like, I mean, different people play the game different ways. He can do that. You get frustrated, though, when you're trying to win and people are on the game. And again, this game offers many different things for different styles of play, and one of the things is a Minecraft type of building stuff, which is important, but it's important when it's done in the right places. And right here at this cap point, we really, right at this time, do not need anything. We need to advance into contact, though, and a lot of these guys aren't doing that. Like, I guarantee you right now, there's a guy, probably at Michigan, you'll see guys sitting at these bases and just building stuff and waiting for supplies, wasting time, waiting. Meanwhile, the Soviets aren't waiting. They are advancing. And they've advanced with supplies with them and have created stuff as they went and been effective and efficient in their strategy. So I saved my loadout in a previous episode. You just saw me spawn at this radio, or spawn and grab this radio, and I dropped my pack off that I had saved in my loadout. Now I died. What is this guy? Why? Why are you building that here? So this is a small cap point. He's building a light vehicle repair depot, which allows you to build light vehicles. The problem with putting it there is this point doesn't get enough supplies through the radio relay to effectively build more than 1 or 2 vehicles an hour. So in building that there, you've just wasted your time. You've wasted supporting the rest of your teammates who are advancing. And you've wasted supplies at that point that could have been used for a barracks later on. You just got to think things through a little bit, I guess. Think, does this make sense? Does this make sense to advance us into contact? And does it make sense to help us defend? That light vehicle depot will not help us defend, other than it slows down the Op4's ability to cap that point. The more buildings that are on there and the type of buildings will slow down taking that point when you go to capture it. So it helps a little bit in that sense, but all you got to do, it takes like 7 or 8 seconds to dismantle a building. So all you got to do is dismantle it and you're done. What he's doing there strategically is kind of a waste of time. But I mean, and again, whatever. Guys play this game for different reasons. It's just frustrating for the guys that want to win to see guys wasting time and not being as effective as possible. That's where that's where I struggle with getting snippy. We will continue on. I got supplies in there, that's good. I just took that other truck so I could get back here without dying. Next is going to be, this is Tiller's Fine. We're gonna go to Brevet, so I will select that. I should probably be going south. What? Brevet is Pennsylvania. I should probably be going south, but it's important to get this military hospital before the Soviets kind of go around us and take it. So we'll grab the military hospital and then we're gonna start moving south to figure out where the Soviets are, so we can better adjust our strategy, I guess. Another thing to think about, if you travel on roads and other folks travel on roads, the chances statistically of you being seen increase exponentially. So a lot of times I will stay off main roads depending on what I'm doing. If I want to come in contact, then I'll stay on a main road, or if I want to travel rapidly, I will stay on a main road. We're going to come in contact right up here with kind of like a checkpoint. It's a roving patrol just outside our next objective. And it would be nice if these things were a little bit more randomized in game. But they're kind of predictable right now. Oh. So he sees me, but he knows what I am. I'm going to say he doesn't know what I am yet. So he is dead. If they're unconscious, a lot of times they'll go out flat, face up. But if they've got kind of like a curl like that, they're typically dead. Dead. There's going to be a guy on the rock up here on my right, and there's a guy right there. And this is why I carry the weapons that I do. That's long range, and this is short range, and very effective close quarters. It is not accurate at all because of its recoil. Alright, we'll move up. So we will push up into contact again. Typically what I like to do at this cap point is I'll set the radio. You gotta set the radio up outside of the perimeter of the cap point. There's a AI right there. Alright, now I can die. So these guys can go over fences as well. They jump them, which we might see here in a second. So now, I'm advancing as quickly. That is my objective, is to advance until I come into contact with the Soviets. And then my objective is to either take their cap point, go around it, and cut it off. And that's kind of when we start switching up gears. We go from offensive, aggressive offensive, to more of a defensive posture. And you still need to be offensive. And once you come into contact, and you're defending a point or taking a point, the best defense of one point is to start taking a strategic point of theirs and draw them away from the point that you're trying to defend. Sitting at one spot they're just going to go around you if they're smart and cut you off. So what you do, leave 1 or 2 players at that point with the ability to respawn rapidly and maintain defensive positions and equipment, barracks and such things. And the rest of you go around behind the enemy offensive and cut them off. Sitting in one spot makes you a static target. Easily contained. You don't want to be contained. You want to contain them. So you cut them off. So that's how we play it. And the guys I play with are of all like mind in that regard.